Welcome to the C.org or Corg demo. What is Corg? It's an Emacs org file reader written with ncurses in C. Here's the GitHub page, which has a little bit different information than will be covered in this video, so you can check that out. And what is it for? It's a more narrow version of what Emacs org mode does. Primarily, it deals with lists, to-dos, and agendas. And let's go through the demo of using Corg. So as you can see, I was just in Corg, and you run Corg on a file to open it. So I'm gonna open this demo that I made. And so let's start with movement. So you can move down with J and up with K. You can move to the next sibling with L or the previous with H. If there's no more siblings, it'll go line by line like J and K do. You can move directly to a parent with P, so right now it'll move to movement. If I go down, then it'll go to the next line up, and then I'll go to movement. And you can reorder nodes with capital J, capital K. Now for subtrees, we can press tab to toggle a subtree, and I'll show you that that is a toggled subtree. You can toggle within other toggled subtrees. And with pound, you can show the counter, the to-do counter on a subtree. So right now, 0 out of 3 things have been done. These are all to-dos. I have set up for the demo. So now we have 1 of 3 things are done. I've started the demo, but still 1 of 3 because that's not done. But let's say I finished the demo. Let's say I finished editing it. Now it shows that 3 of 3 things are done. And again, just hit pound to toggle that. All this stuff I'm doing with to-dos will be in a later section. Now for creating and deleting nodes, lowercase c will create a child node, and capital C will create a sibling node. You can press D to delete a node and its children. If I delete this node, it will also delete this one because it's its child. And you can use greater than and less than to pop nodes in and out. It will follow the rule of 1 indentation. You cannot go more than 1 indentation from your parent. So let's say I pop this one in. That means that I can now pop this one. I can't move this one back out because that would break the rule of 1 indentation between these 2 nodes. So I'd have to move this and then move that. For Popup Windows, we can press T to open the to-do window. That will give me a list that I took from Emacs of all the states that you can put on a node. So if I press T, it will give it the to-do state. If I press S, it will give it the start state. If I press capital T, it will be unchecked. If I press S, it will be started. D is done. And only a few of these states, the gray states and red states, are the ones that count for being done. So I check out how many things are done here. There's only 1 to-do item here. These are technically not to-do items. So if I set it to kill, it'll also be done. No is also done. Yes is done. Okay is done. And so on like that. And you can press capital N for no to-do status. R will rename the node. Let's say I want to say R to rename nodes, and boom, there we go. We can press S to change the description. Like you saw on this, the line below this is a description. And we can press W to write to a file. So video demo.org. I'm going to write to that, and I'm going to change this to video demo, and now boom, it's the file that we were just working on. Now for the calendar window, we can press M to open the date window. It will ask us for a type of timestamp that we want. I will just use the basic timestamp. None of these actually make a difference because the features that use them haven't been implemented yet, but that'll be in the future. And then J and K will move to the previous and next week. H and L will move to the previous and next day. It's more straightforward than it sounds. It's just moving up, down, left, right. Less than and greater than to go to the next or previous months. We can press T to go to the current day. Today is December 4th. We can press Enter to select that day and create a timestamp on that node. And we can press D to delete a timestamp from the current node. There's also hyperlinks. You can press N to give a node a link. Here it already has a link, so we're editing it. Point it to Corg again. Use capital N, and that's how earlier I was able to open the GitHub page for Corg. And if you're ever confused, you can press question mark, and that will bring you 4 pages of help that tell you what different keys do. The first 3 are just everything in the program, except the 4th page is only stuff on the calendar. And the last 2 things we haven't covered, escape will close any pop-up. Let's say I'm making changes. If I don't want those changes to happen, if I press escape, it'll go back and none of the changes will be made. And also the way I've been quitting is with Q. I've paused development for now because I've reached what I decided the minimum viable product was. It's in a pretty workable state for the things that I wanted to do with it. And so I might continue development in the future, but for right now I'm going to work on other things. If you want a list of things that will be possibly coming in the future, what I'm thinking of, you can check out the GitHub page either in the planned features section, or I use issues for features that I plan on implementing. All these enhancements are things I'm fixing or I'm adding. And yeah, so you can check those out on the GitHub page. But yeah, thank you for watching the demo.